Just about a couple days ago, we actually reported on the first week sales of Mario & Luigi Brothership, and they have not been very good. In fact, it's one of the lowest sales in the series, and as you can see with this chart on screen, Brothership has only sold about 63,000 in Japan, and I believe this is all digital, so this isn't physical yet, this isn't the other regions, but I have heard that the UK sales are just as low, so it's not looking good so far. And like I said, it's just past Paper Jam, and pretty much around the same as Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, a little lower actually, the original one that released on Game Boy Advance, that is. So this isn't looking too good for Mario & Luigi fans, and we've discussed this already and what could be the cause, and maybe I'll go into it a little bit further here, but it seems like there could be some more bad news. This series just continues to get hammered with bad things happening to it. Well, apparently the bad things are just going to continue coming, because apparently Mario & Luigi's future is in doubt because of the company again. We already know that Mario & Luigi was developed by Alpha Dream, and then Alpha Dream went bankrupt after coming out with 2 games that were past games that were kind of remakes for the 3DS instead of them being on the DS and Game Boy respectively. And then here we are again. Now you can pause the video in order to read the full article, it's completely up to you, but to just completely sum it up, apparently Sony is about to buy out, acquire, and some other studios, Japan-based studios as well, which could mean the end of them working with Nintendo. We don't really know anything about that yet. This company has worked on Octopath Traveler and obviously now Mario & Luigi Brothership. So if this happens, there's a good chance that Mario & Luigi would have to find yet again another new developer, which means we either are not going to get another game or simply going to be waiting a very, very long time again for the next Mario & Luigi game. Not to mention the fact that the reviews have been quite mixed, as there's a lot of people that really love this game. There's a lot of people that really don't like this game, where IGN gave it a whopping 5 out of 10, which is extremely low for any Mario game, even a spin-off RPGs such as the Mario & Luigi series. And this is the last thing that the company needs right now. This absolutely sucks, because I'll be honest, it's looking extremely dire for this series. We know normally sales doesn't dictate for Nintendo if they want to completely get rid of a franchise or not. I mean, Paper Mario has been going through the absolute mud for a while, and they keep pumping out new Paper Mario games. Do I think Mario & Luigi's completely done after this? I don't know. It's hard to say, but when you have so many different factors attacking it at once, it's a little bit different than any of the other games. The fact that the main developers of this series went bankrupt already from low sales from remaking past Mario & Luigi games, and also the fact that the sales for the new reinstalled game with Brothership is also very low so far, when they've actually made a really fun, from the ground up, unique story, unique characters, and a unique world. It still wasn't enough to get sales, apparently. Not to mention, giant publications such as IGN are review bombing it, which also could correlate to the poor sales so far. And now on top of that, the studio is at risk of being bought out from Sony, which means we'll have to once again find a new studio. Look, I'll be completely honest, I can't believe Nintendo didn't just decide to buy out Alpha Dream. It actually blows my mind how they didn't just save the company or create their own new company underneath past workers of Alpha Dream. I mean, we heard that past developers were working on this game along with Acquire, so why couldn't they just bring back all those developers and have them work under a new studio or something? Something more, you know, helmed by Nintendo and their first parties. So I'm really hoping that this holiday is a massive success for the company. You know, I hope somehow this holiday we start seeing massive sales for Mario & Luigi, but once again, I think this game just got done so dirty in my eyes. I think also considering the fact that it's one of the last Nintendo Switch games, and right now is along the time frame that everyone was expecting some type of information from Switch 2, I still am on the page where I feel like Nintendo not announcing Switch 2 actually hurt this game. I feel like Nintendo saying that this Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible, and the fact that you'll be able to play Mario & Luigi on this console, and that it's going to be a, you know, really fun experience to have on your Switch and your Switch 2. Instead, people are just sitting here waiting for information on this console that's just not coming, and instead Nintendo just keeps pumping out games, and I am wondering if it's just that. You know, maybe the next games to follow, like Donkey Kong Country Returns HD and even Xenoblade Chronicles X, is going to go through similar situations where people are just tired of Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo is milking the daylight out of this console to the point where it's actively going to hurt them if they keep doing this, and also their software sales, where Mario & Luigi probably would have benefited a whole bunch if it was released earlier on in the Switch's life cycle. But instead, we're in almost year 8 at the very tail end of what seems to be the end of Nintendo Switch, and then they just threw out a Mario & Luigi game, and it's one that I feel like it's not getting the proper respect that it needs. Is it a perfect game? Absolutely not. There's definitely flaws, and I'll be talking about them in a gigantic review that I plan on doing. But after completing the game 100%, I don't see how anyone in the world can call this game bland or uninspired or just a slog to get through, where this game to me was one of the best experiences for the Mario & Luigi series that I've gotten to date. I love this game to death, and I think it does a lot right, even though it does a lot wrong as well. But unfortunately, with all these factors against it, it looks like the future is bleak. But I wanted to spend the rest of this video kind of talking about what I think Nintendo should do for the future in order to save Mario and Luigi. Personally, I think they need to just have a new studio work on this game. I think Acquire did a great job, but if Acquire is being bought out from Sony, and there's a very good chance Nintendo will not work with them since that happens, Nintendo then needs to find a studio of past Alpha Dream developers, or literally they should have just bought out Alpha Dream and had them work on just primary Mario and Luigi games for the rest of their lives, because they were pretty good at it. Once again, I think Acquire did a great job, but what are they going to do if they get bought out? I mean, they're going to have a new studio work on this game. But as far as to what I think this next game should be and what it should do, it should be a big game in the middle of the next Switch's life cycle. It shouldn't be waiting till the very end. It needs to hit at the very middle phase, or at least kind of even early phase if they really want this game to take off. As far as the game itself, I mean, honestly, there's only small complaints that I would say that they would need to do to make sure it sells better. I think personally, they need to have some type of main gimmick to draw people in. I think that's maybe one thing that didn't really resonate with a lot of people. There wasn't really one thing that made people say, oh my gosh, I gotta try this game out. There was no giant Luigi battles, or the fact that you could play as Bowser. They needed something, and I feel like without having that main draw, it kind of maybe didn't make people like turn their eyes towards it. I think that's what made Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story so freaking exciting, is the fact that you could play as Bowser for one of the first times ever. It was a huge deal and something that people definitely wanted to try out. So I feel like this next one has to take some type of inspiration from whatever the Switch 2 is going to do. Maybe some type of gigantic new mechanic, bring back playable Bowser, I guess, if you can. Something to really catch people's eyes. But I will say this, and no, I'm not getting paid by Nintendo to say this. I wish I was, but I'm not. But please, give Mario & Luigi Brothership a chance. It is a really fun experience. If you've never played an RPG, give it a try. Ask for it for this holiday, for this Christmas, and give it a try. It is full of fun characters, fun worlds, and an amazing story that I feel like we haven't gotten since like Super Paper Mario on the Wii. It's really that good. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Let me know in the comments down below, are you worried for Mario and Luigi? Are you kind of eased? Do you not really worry? Do you think everything's going to work out? Do you think Nintendo's still going to be making Mario and Luigi games? Or are we going to see the downfall of the series once again right before our very eyes? Let me know what you think down below, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like always, I will see you all on the next one. See you guys.